Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Steve Lam dies. Steve Lam, the man who was practically raised by a garden boat steward and eventually rose to become manager of the late tourism and business moguls Three Villas, died yesterday in Florida, USA. Steve, who was from Discovery Bay, St. Anne, and had suffered renal failure many years ago, died from complications associated with COVID-19. Steve association with Stewart was reported in a tribute to the ATL Group chairman in February this year. In that report, he had outlined how he started working officially for Stewart in February 1988 after doing odd duty for the hoteler before that. Steve had also recalled that when he was diagnosed with kidney failure in 2015, Stewart spared no expense in getting him the best medical treatment. I told him many times, I said, "Boss, I will take a bullet for you because he's very good to me. I came from nothing. Sometimes I wish that Mr. Stewart could live forever. I prayed for him every night," Steve stated in an interview. "He taught me well, everything I know. He made me the person I am today. I like things to be done the right way, so that's why I'm a hands-on person. He taught me that," said Steve, who worked with Stewart for 33 years. Son informed of father's death at Cornwall Regional 6 days after. Cleon Miller says he took his father, Arden Miller, to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, CRH, around 9 p.m. on Wednesday, September 1st, after he fell ill and stayed there with him until 3 o'clock the next morning. About an hour after younger Miller departed, his 75-year-old father reportedly died of pneumonia at the Mount Salem St. James Hospital. But Cleon Miller and his family were in the dark about the death for almost a week.
When I first took my dad to the hospital, it was they say it was a low sodium. Alright, so I began to the hospital walking and everything, and it was in the hospital for a little bit. They released him. I take him home, he was still feeling pain in his lower abdomen. So what I did, I take him to GWS, which is in Fairview. You with me?
Yeah, when was this?
Alright, so this was the first time, like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I don't know if it was in the hospital up until last month. Then they released him. He wasn't able to walk and anything like that because he had got an infection at the hospital, upper GDI bleeding, and just a lot of stuff was going on with him. So they called me one day. Well, I called him and they said, "Okay, my dad is released again." You might know that it's the third time they're releasing him. I have to take him back. So when I take him back now to the hospital again, they're saying they can't do anything much, but I just keep him home and get somebody to turn him every 2 hours. So I had this lady taking care of him because I had to work. It's just me and him really live, and the lady was taking care of him. The last time when they released him out of the hospital, he had a bed sore like in his head. Piece of his ears was cut like pretty much torn off, and two big bed sore in his head. His foot was like leaking the drip and everything that was coming on. The drip in his foot, so his foot was swelling like really big. And then so last week Wednesday, it was the first. I left work and when I came home, he wasn't doing well, so I decided to take him back to the hospital, but I didn't want to go to Cornwall Regional because of the situation he was in before. And then because he was after what was be a seizure or something, a stroke or something. What I did know, I was scared. I didn't want to go to Falmouth because I got information that Falmouth was overpacked as well, and then I didn't want to take the chance to go that far and then something happened, So I take him to Cornwall Regional Hospital. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock when I take him to Cornwall Regional Hospital. 9 p.m. that was. I just had left work. So I was there for a little bit until about 3 a.m. Thursday morning. I left. The doctor was trying to get some from that didn't work out. She had left. She didn't even give me her name. She had left and said the next doctor was supposed to call and deal with it. I left and I called them Friday evening. No response. I guess they was busy. And then Saturday afternoon, no, I left at that lunchtime and I went up there. No one was able to give me information. And all through that, it was like a busy scene for everybody at that hospital. So I tried to get information, didn't get through. Then the lockdown had come Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I went back there in the West, saying I'm not leaving until I get some information. So what I did, I took my car and block the not the entrance, but drive it towards the emergency entrance and park the music up because I needed, the attention to make sure I get the information out. I take my uniform off and put on a overall that I had in the car. Security guy went and get the police and I threatened him. That being said now, so finally some lady come out and say, all right, the doctor will see me in a bit. So I moved the car, parked it back in the parking lot, and the doctor didn't really come at that time. So he said that lady was supposed to give me information. He said I went there from 7 a.m. in the morning. 1:30 still nobody come out to talk to me. 2:30 still nobody come out to talk to me. It was after 3 now when the lady come and say, okay, well, the doctor wanted to see me. Then my sister come in same time, so we both went and talked. He's telling me that my dad passed away on Thursday. That was a Thursday when I left there at 3 a.m. So my dad passed away on Thursday at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
That's when I had the information said my dad passed away. So they didn't call, so he's saying he's sorry for the he didn't reach out to me and all kinds of stuff. Alright, so now I called them on the Friday, the Thursday. That was the when I had to get my dad released to the funeral home. They're saying the paper is not ready, and the lady says she's not sure when that's going to be ready. So no, I didn't get any information because of the whole thing that's going on with hospital. It's really bad that I have to go through this to get the information that my dad had passed a week later. When right now even work trying to put me off work because of the whole thing that's going on. They said I'm not really pulling my weight. And they're pushing to give me 2 weeks without pay off work. And no money really to do anything really. And then I only get paid once a month. And with all the lockdown and everything, it's crazy. It's just not getting no hours in or anything like that. At the next time of lockdown again, so by the time I go back to work, then they're going to put me off for 2 weeks.
60% of ODPP staff vaccinated. The Office of Director of Public Prosecution, ODPP, has embarked on an education campaign to encourage staff to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Speaking at the opening of the Home Circuit Court yesterday morning at the Supreme Court in Kingston, Director of Public Prosecution, Paula Llewellyn, said that about 60% of the office's approximately 100 workers have taken the jab. Llewellyn said the initiative is to ensure that employees are provided with information. We are embarking on a program of public education to make sure all members of staff have the information that they need to make the personal decision in respect of whether to vaccinate or not vaccinate, she said. We too have had to deal with situations where persons have had to go into quarantine. We have had a couple of people who have proven to be positive, and we have had put protocols in place to make sure that the wheel of justice and courts are able to continue, said Llewellyn. This pandemic has stretched, I believe, every leader in any sector. We've had to think outside the box. We've had to deal with multiplicity of issues and challenges which surround how to keep the workplace safe for all concerned, and this is for both the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. We have had to be responsive to human resources concern and sensitivity in dealing with vaccine hesitancy, dealing with persons who do not wish to be vaccinated in the circumstances where there is no mandate, she continued. Don't forget the disabled, arthritis, blind and wheelchair-bound, 3 residents of Granville who yesterday got vaccinated against COVID-19 are praying for the government to ensure that disabled Jamaicans can also get their jabs. Go for the people them. Go for the people them who can't walk. You have to communicate with them more and find a solution, pleaded 51-year-old Andrea McKenzie, whose arthritis makes it hard for her to move around. She was among the people bussed to and from Granville All-Age School vaccination site by Councillor Michael Thorpe. Mackenzie is convinced that there are many disabled people across the country who have even greater challenges than she does, hurdles that kept them away from the vaccine. The government have to do it the same way how they would come for us to go and vote. Get a bus and shuttle them in and carry them home back. More people want to take it, but them can't walk to the sites and them not have anybody to bring them, she said. The Andrew Holness-led administration has given a commitment to taking the vaccine into communities to reach those unable to travel as well as the vaccine hesitant. Local representatives like Michael Thorpe have since been providing transportation for people who need to get to the vaccination sites. Yesterday, Godfrey Donner, an elderly blind man, reported that due to his disability, he had to play the waiting game until a COVID-19 vaccination bliss was being held in his community. He was one of the first person to register for a COVID-19 vaccination drive at Granville All-Age School, he said. He believes that many of his peers, especially those at the Jamaica Society for the Blind, JSB Montego Bay chapter, are also playing their dangerously waiting game. Donor said that while he will try his best to encourage other members of the JSB to get vaccinated against the virus, he is appealing for assistance to make this possible. When I go back to meeting next week, I am going to encourage all of them to come and take it. But I would like for someone to try and help them because many of them would like to come, but they don't have anybody to take them out, he said. I don't know if the government could have somebody bring the members from the Montego Bay chapter to get vaccinated. I believe that it is a great benefit for disabled people to take the vaccine, he added. Paulette Baker shares her view of the importance of vaccinating the disabled. After suffering a stroke some years ago, the 61-year-old now uses a wheelchair to go about her daily life as she can no longer walk. She said she was overcome with joy on learning that there was going to be a vaccination bliss in her community. This, she said, meant that she could finally get vaccinated against a deadly virus, something she had been longing to do. She believes that there are many others in her shoes. A lot of people are disabled. It might not be because of a stroke, but they cannot walk. I would like to see the community get together and see if they can come out for the disabled people living there, she said. If they were your relative, talk to them and help them to come out and get the vaccine, she urged. Remembering Edith Alwood Anderson. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.